If you journey from the terracotta clock tower of the square through the greenery of the Royal Parkland, you will find the Red Wall, 3 miles of Tifosi who have invaded their national autodrome. Because Monza just means more. These grandstands have witnessed over a century of speed, and today the old temple welcomes back the Formula One World Championship for the 75th time. Good afternoon and welcome to the Italian Grand Prix. It's 5.7 kilometers, 3.5 miles of motor racing history with 11 turns that break down as the Lesmo corners, the Parabolica and 3 crucial chicanes. The opening lap is coming your way in a few minutes' time. It will be crucial for the context of the Formula One World Championship. We're on the softer end of the compounds today, the C5, the C4 and the C3 tyre. The guaranteed one-stop of yesteryear is no more. You might have to stop twice to win this Grand Prix, but the thinking in the paddock is we will begin with a one-stop. Here's the starting grid for the 16th Grand Prix of the year, with the Saubers at the back once again, second race in a row that's the case. And Valtteri Bottas, former sprint winner around here. Welcome to Formula One, Franco Colapinto. He makes his debut from 18th. Lance Stroll is in 17th position. Yuki Tsunoda is 16th on the grid behind Esteban Ocon. And the French driver will look to move forward. His teammate is the next car ahead, winner of the Grand Prix here in 2020. Kevin Magnussen's 13th, unbelievably, his top start here in a decade. Daniel Ricciardo, another winner around these corners. He goes from 12th. Fernando Alonso missed out by 1/100th of a second when it came to getting to Q3. Q3 made by Nico Hülkenberg, 7th time this season, and Alex Albon, who has done that every time he's come to this racetrack. Sergio Perez is 8th. Max Verstappen in 7th means that's Red Bull's worst qualifying performance since Singapore last year. Lewis Hamilton was furious that he could have had pole and he ended up with 6th. Carlos Sainz is 30 years young today. He chases victory on his birthday. Charles Leclerc is in 4th. George Russell was pleased with 3rd after losing practice time, and it's a McLaren front row lockout with Oscar Piastri in 2nd. Last time that was the case, he won the Grand Prix back in Budapest. And it's over to you, Lando Norris at the start. And the Italian Grand Prix is underway. Lando Norris has got the launch that he needs, but George Russell is still a contender. Russell goes onto the grass and over the road as the McLarens are side by side, and Oscar Piastri is going all the way around the outside to take the lead, and he's lost 2nd place to Charles Leclerc.
This gets very, very tight for George Russell. Oh, he squeezes wide. Here's the sensational move, late on the brakes from Piastri, so close but fair between the two McLarens, and it's just a beautiful move from Piastri. No sign of team orders, quite clearly.
This is Hülkenberg, contact with Daniel Ricciardo, then he's going to scrape across the gravel. This is going to be Hülkenberg trying a late send and making contact as a result. That is pure frustration. Here's the move for Sergio Perez. He's able to move ahead into the braking zone and take 7th place. And George Russell has gone. Kevin Magnussen fights his way by. He's got past Daniel Ricciardo at the Rettifilo chicane. In comes Charles Leclerc trying to cover off that pit stop for McLaren. Also in Lewis Hamilton. Lando Norris leaps up, net 2nd place in the race. This is Kevin Magnussen trying to pull off another overtake. Wasn't as special as the move at the first chicane. Contact with Pierre Gasly. This is George Russell up against Sergio Perez. Again, he's having to scamper over the road, and he will have to give Perez the place back. He does so. On board with the driver who was 2nd and having to go to the correct side of the bollards and rejoin. So it is a 2-stopper. Unlike previous years, he will get the rubber first. And Lando Norris being held for a moment.
Magnussen back in the wars, this time with Alex Albon.
Consequential move that for Kevin Magnussen, up 4 places from where he started the Grand Prix.
On the canvas.
Oh my word, George Russell trying to scrub off the speed from 200 miles per hour. He's going to go wheel to wheel with Sergio Perez once again. Through goes George Russell, and he's up to 8th. We cut to Oscar Piastri in the pits. McLaren have dealt with the car and have put on a new set of hard tyres. Norris going for it, and that is a fairly efficient move. McLaren need to put the hammer down now. The Ferrari clearly doesn't have the grip. We don't see many passes for position into Ascari. Oscar Piastri fights his way through to 2nd place. Lando Norris got super close to Carlos Sainz. It is going to be 3rd position for Lando Norris. These are magical moments at Monza. This did not seem possible when Charles Leclerc started fourth on the grid. The man from Monaco is the man for Monza. The Tifosi are roaring him home, and for the second time in his career, Charles Leclerc is the winner of the Italian Grand Prix for Ferrari. He's won the race by 2.6 seconds for his 7th career victory, and it's one to savour.
What a drive, what a driver. And Ferrari, this was a team a couple of years ago, couldn't get a strategy right all season. They were throwing races away, and now they are team reformed. And what a moment for Charles Leclerc.
Lots of emotions. I mean, we stopped quite early, but still too late, because Lando actually undercut us, and there I was, okay, maybe the race is going away from us, and also Oscar had a good pace. But I didn't demotivate myself. I kept pushing and tried to keep those tires just to have most freedom on the 1 or 2 stops. We wanted to make the one stop work at the beginning. Then we saw Red Bull struggling with the hard, and we were like, maybe the 2 stops is better. So that's why we stopped early, and then there was a long way to go. But then once the two McLaren stopped, I found a lot more grip, not having the dirt here of Oscar in front, and the pace came back to us. So from that moment onward, I was like, why not try it? And the team obviously said it as well. So we were both aligned, and it's great.
Just hurts, really. Drove a very good race. The 2 stops seemed like the best strategy at the time. The graining through the rest of the weekend was very tough, and as soon as we got it, it was very, very difficult to manage. I started getting graining on the first hard, and I felt like we would have enough pace difference on a new set of tyres to go and attack. Just a few laps too short.
Yeah, pretty crappy day from my side. But I still drove the best I could, obviously it just didn't, some bits not good enough. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make up for just being not good enough in other parts of the racing, trying to get fastest lap and stuff like that. 1 point's great, but being second or first is a lot easier to get points. So yeah, some things to clearly work on.
To be honest, I wasn't really frustrated throughout the race. I was just doing my own race. Yeah, the pace was not there, but yeah, we had a bad pit stop. I think our strategy was not on point today, even though, of course, it wouldn't have changed our position. I think we could have done a better race in general. It doesn't help that you can't run full power for most of the race with the engine, because we had an issue. So yeah, all in all, a pretty bad race.
I was expecting it to be difficult, but not this bad. And we basically were slow and high degradation, especially on the medium. I mean, I compromised a little bit my race, I think, to keep up George behind, but that worked quite well, for us, because we were able to hold George behind for a little bit, and in the end he came really close to Max. So I think it made a difference to the team in terms of points that we secured today.